yeah, you saw the same thing I did, and that's a lot of times the work to be done is dictated by the caliber of athlete you're going against, and I think sometimes that gets lost in the nonsense. And very pleased with the win. We will certainly enjoy the win and look forward to getting to work back tomorrow.
France, questions?
Coach, Brandon Spikes was out for a good portion of the second half.
Yeah, he hurt it. He has tendonitis in the Achilles, and on Wednesday he really struggled at practice. Then on Thursday they refit with some orthotics, and you know, it's just it's not a major deal. It's just a painful injury.
And Deontay?
Deontay tried on Thursday in a minor tug. We were still hoping on game day adjustment. He went out there in pregame and he couldn't do it.
Mark over the right.
Yeah, Jeff Demps also had 101 fever today. Aaron Hernandez on Friday had to put in isolation because he had the flu. Jermaine Cunningham had 2 days of isolation. He also had the stomach flu. And there's some tough guys on this team now. Jeff Demps to go. I mean, he looked like he saw a ghost. He was pale and all that when we went and saw him at right in pregame. We kept him in pregame until right at the end because of the heat, and he played. I mean, he played hard, but I thought Rainey played real hard too.
Mark over the right.
Coach, can you talk about the heavy rotation in the second half on the left side of the offensive line?
Yeah, our second half, we had the ball in the third quarter for 11 minutes, and I thought the checkmate, you know, the checkmate of the game was if we were going to be able to punch that in was when we fumbled down in there deep, and it was 23-6, I believe. Is that correct? Yep. It was 23-6, and it's. I mean, that's the, you know, you got to be careful how you say that, but I think in that kind of game, that's a checkmate of the game. We had a little bootleg called, and we fumbled the ball. But that was good rotation. Coach Adazio, we had Maurice Hurt. It was good to see him playing again. You had James Wilson and Matt Patchen, so we had a good little rotation, and we did a lot of that no huddle. So our team's gassed right now.
Coach, with the injuries starting to mount a little bit, are you feeling good with the depth behind those?
Better than I ever have. I mean, we've all seen what you start pulling out. Well, I'm not feeling good receiver right now. I mean, we got to go get us recruit receivers, and you know, I mean, I sit in my bed at the hotel and I watch this, and I'm thinking we're going to pull out 8, you know, blazing receivers. We're not doing that right now, and we have to get better at receiver. We have to keep recruiting receiver, and we've had a little bit of a drop off. And when you pull Deontay Thompson out of the lineup, there's a little bit of a dip right now, and we have to improve that right now.
Buddy up front.
Urban, speaking of pressure on the team, was this not a fun game for you to prepare for? Because there was so much pressure on you to win and win big. And how did that detract from you? And also, I want to ask you about the post-game thing with the handshakes of the players.
Yeah, I do think there's anytime you're sitting on top of that mountain, which our program is right now. There's pressure. You can say there's not, and just kind of hear people say we're just chilling, and all. We don't chill around here. We work and we grind, and we don't want to lose that spot on top of the mountain. I got to make sure it doesn't, because at times, I felt it this week. I felt that, are you going to score 100 points? I mean, think about that for a minute. The third-ranked defense in the country, a good bunch of those guys are going to go play in the National Football League against our team with a bunch of guys like that too, and it's just silly. It gets carried away, and I got to make sure that doesn't happen. I want these guys to have fun and go play the game, because when they do, they're really good. They're really good.
And just to follow up, you played it a lot this week, and at the end of the game, I noticed you went over and shook the hands of a lot of Tennessee players.
I always do that. I have too much admiration for players. I'm not a big coach guy. I like players, though. Those guys that went out there and battled today, you know what? I've never not done that. And, of course, we'll always do that. And notice our players do that, too. Our players appreciate the game. The game of football has been around for a long time. And it's about a group of players playing against a group of players. If it's more than that, then it's not some other sport than football. And our guys played really hard, and I think they did, too. I haven't watched the film yet, but I think both teams played hard. SEC East football.
Urban, I know you don't like small talk, you don't like hype and things like that. Did it put you guys in an uncomfortable position going in this game? That literally there was 7 months of build-up going.
Yeah, well, that's not. Do you say that it make us? I don't know. It takes away from what we do well, and let's go prepare and learn how to beat this coverage and beat this and beat this. I don't know if it took away from it or not, but I mean, if I'm answering question after question after question, if our players are answering question after question, it's silly. It is, and. But I mean, we're fine. What are we now? 3-0? We're 3-0.